Hello everyone, my name is Mrs. Takhtani and you are now watching the Imperialism Introduction on the New York State's Global Regents Prep website that I have constructed. So I first want to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about imperialism before we begin focusing on the crash course videos, the video transcript pages, and of course the skill video. I want you guys to think about mainly when you hear the word imperialism, I would like you guys to remember the mnemonic PEST. Now, I think the mnemonic PEST, as in P-E-S-T, is important to remember because it draws your attention to the political, economic, social, and ultimately technological causes for imperialism and its success. This is something that is commonly assessed on the New York State's Global Regents exam, and so that's why I kind of wanted you guys to, I guess, draw your attention to that. The political causes for imperialism are kind of overviewed in the crash course video. But it's important to remember that countries during this time period, or basically the late 19th century, wanted to kind of have an increase in international status. Having colonies and having spheres of influences in different countries were seen as being a sign of prestige, and basically collecting other people's and their homelands was seen as a sign of wealth, as a sign of you're in a world power. So that's basically the political causes behind imperialism. The economic causes behind imperialism largely resulted from the Industrial Revolution. If you guys will recall, the Industrial Revolution led to a demand in natural resources or things produced from the earth in order to make manufactured goods. And so countries in Europe undergoing this Industrial Revolution had to find new places to find these natural resources in order to make the manufactured goods that they wanted to sell. The other economic causes for imperialism resulted from these European countries' desires for new markets or new places to sell all of their manufactured goods. They had to find people to buy their stuff to justify making it. They wanted to make money, and so imperialism seemed to be the logical course of achieving that goal. And now we move on to the social causes for imperialism. Around this time, there was an increase, I guess, sensitivity to matters of race, matters of prejudice, and hierarchical thinking. Charles Darwin had recently come out with his theory about evolution, and so people kind of misconstrued that theory into, I guess, finding faith in something we call social Darwinism, meaning that the people who are on top in society are obviously supposed to be there because they are, I guess, better. And so it began to, I guess, influence people to see people of color, people from other countries, as subhuman in a way, which we do know is incorrect. There is no biological difference between the races that is significant enough to, I guess, claim that one race is better than another. We know that now. But this type of thinking led to the concept of the white man's burden, which was written about by Rudyard Kipling. People began to see it as their moral obligation and their duty to bring other cultures into their, I guess, civilization and see their way of doing things as correct. And so ultimately those were the social, I guess, motives behind imperialism. People thought it was their duty to bring these uncivilized cultures and show them the ways of becoming civilized. And then ultimately the technological, I guess, basically advantages led to a success during most imperialistic ventures. Because of the Industrial Revolution, European countries had advanced technologically far more than the other cultures they were interacting with during this time period. There was the development of the steam engine, there was the development of the Maxim gun, and these new pieces of technology allowed Europeans to conquer parts of Africa, parts of India, and parts of China that they had recently been unable to do so because of their, they were on an equal playing field. And the technology, the advances in technology that they experienced during this time period eventually allowed them to become successful. So, PEST, the political, economic, social, and technological, reasons for imperialism and reasons for success of imperialism during this time period. Another thing that I would like to draw your guys' attention to is through my analysis of past Regents exams, there are a lot of common topics related to imperialism that frequently appear on these exams. The Boxer Rebellion in China is one that frequently appears, in my opinion. The Berlin Conference in 1857 is another concept that is frequently assessed. They also draw a lot of attention to the different rebellions that happened in China and how China was uniquely had entanglements with multiple European powers. Multiple European countries had spheres of influence in China, and Chinese imperialism developed in a unique way. There's also attention drawn to the resistance that took place during this time period against imperialistic ventures. There are multiple peoples that uprose against these European powers trying to find advantage in their country or trying to take over their countries. And so those are all concepts that you can pretty much generally expect to be tested on the New York State's Global and Geography Regents exam related to imperialism. I hope this overview has kind of helped you get your gears thinking about what to expect on the test and what to keep your eyes out for over the course of these crash course videos. And I'll see you next time in the Social Studies skill video number 2 related to political cartoons and photographs. And as always, have no fear, Mrs. T is here, and I will be here to help you along the way.